Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about Pop! OS or GNOME in terms of customizing it, or at least in the way that I have. And I think I'm going to focus mainly on the extensions, which I should be more specific, the GNOME extensions, which make this all possible in terms of customizing it to your liking. And I'll begin with what you need first to install those extensions. You need to open up your browser, which is Firefox, and I already have the GNOME extension. It's the shell extension that's installed. And to do that in Firefox, you go to your little hamburger menu in the upper right corner, click on it, click on add-ons, and then in the left you're going to be looking under extensions. You may click on that and then just type here, and you're going to type in GNOME Shell integration. Once you find that, you install that extension, which is what I already have here in the right corner, as I mentioned. So I'll move back here. Once it's installed, you may close the browser, open it. I don't know if you really need to. Then if you click on it, it's going to bring you to the website for GNOME extensions. And then you have the option to install the various extensions. Now, some won't install because of version conflicts, so you'll need to be aware of that. And the show notes is what will describe in more detail what I may not mention here in the video. So highly recommend looking at the show notes. You can copy the text, paste it, save it for your reference. It'll give you a guide on how to install some of the extensions, or at least a little bit of the process with using GNOME. So what I will show here is I'm going to bring up my little guide here. This is essentially the show notes. It'll look a little differently because once I paste it into YouTube, I can't do a bold typeface text. It's just going to show it as plain text, pretty much, or hypertext. I don't know what they call it. Anyway, I'll just begin with what I've done. This panel is removed the panel. The default panel is at the top. I've added it's called the dash to dock panel. I'm sorry, dash to panel is what it is. And I've moved it down to the bottom. I've made it semi-transparent, as you can see. I think you can even extend the length or shorten it. I forget now how I actually did it. It's been a while since I customized this, but there's so many features that you really need to take the time to see what is all possible. So I'll just show you. So this is dash to panel. I've also added the GNOME Shell extension, which is places and gives you the ability to get shortcuts to your folders here. It also actually will show if you have something plugged into your USB port, or something that's in a device connected, it will actually show it in places as well. And that brings up the thought that it's also the show devices, or removable drive menu, I should say, will also be here when you have the device connected. And so if I want to disengage it, just click on it, and you got to hover above the menu that you're using. Click again, and then you get the notification briefly at the top as well that I've disengaged the device or USB connection in this device, in this instance. The clock, I had it on the right. I think initially when you install the panel, it has the clock on the right. I moved it to the left for my purposes. The show applications I think was on the right as well. If not, I may have moved it to the left. I'm not sure. Then I've added the what they call the CPU Power Manager, which is exclusive to Pop! OS and Ubuntu. I believe it was designed by Pop! OS, and you'll need to read about it to be able to use it. There's a little bit of info here in my show notes. Moving on, the next item here, or GNOME Shell extension, is the recent items, and I've chosen the one that's by this individual. I think I tried the other one, but this one was of preference for me, and so I installed it for recent items. Then, of course, your clipboard indicator. These to me are very useful and should be almost default in setting up, or if GNOME could even make this as default, these items should be here already without you having to install it. So these are my biases or impressions, thoughts on GNOME in general. But the extensions allow you to enable these or install them. And basically, in the show notes I'll describe my thoughts on the reviewing it briefly, updating it, info on video drivers, what is a GNOME Shell extension, the ones that I've installed, my opinion of GNOME, suggestion to the GNOME developers, concerns, issues, possible issues, I should say, references with links in the show notes. So, as I said, this is an overview. Hopefully, it'll help some or most of you, and enjoy Linux. Thanks for watching.